There is an average of 293,100 sexual assaults each year in the United States. Now, this can be any sexual assault. So, those are the ones that are reported. How many are not?
1 in 6, or 17.7 million American women have fallen victim to rape or attempted rape. That's a lot of women.
So, 1 in 33, or 2.78 million American men have fallen victim to rape or attempted rape. So how does that make me feel? I think that's a pretty surprising number. I think that's maybe an unknown statistic, and I think that's something that needs to be worked out in America, because that's a very substantial number for something that not many people have heard of.
8% of rapists will never spend a day in jail, and that's kind of scary just because, like, they're walking among us, and, like, we could be raped any day and any time.
Every 107 seconds, another American is sexually assaulted. Think about that. That's like every other minute someone is being sexually assaulted. That's crazy. That's horrible.
About 80% of sexual assaults are committed by someone the victim knows, and 47% of rapists were considered friends or acquaintances to the victim. Sometimes we think of rapists as some guy with a hood in a dark alley, and in reality it's not like that. In reality it can be anybody, and we need to take precautions to make sure that it doesn't happen.
44% of victims of rape and sexual assault are under 18 years old. And 18 years old are around like our peers and people younger, like children. And no children or our peers or anyone should be like experiencing sexual assault.
For children, the age of males at the greatest risk of sexual assault is 4 years old. The age of girl is at the greatest risk of sexual assault is 14 years old. No child, no matter what age, should have to suffer through a sexual assault.
In a survey done by the Association of American Universities, 44% said they had seen an incapacitated person headed for a sexual encounter. 3 out of 4 did nothing to stop it. I think that's ridiculous. If you see something going on that shouldn't be going on, you need to stop it. Like if you see a girl or like even a guy being drugged, being dragged into a room where they're not awake, you need to fix it.
What does consent mean to you?
Consent to me means two people mutually agreeing on whatever is going to take place, regardless of opinion and past experiences. They must both agree to whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and they both have to be okay with that.
68% of sexual assaults are not reported to the police. That also means that 68% of sexual assaults don't have consequences.
Based on a survey by the Association of American Universities, only 25% of students who had been raped on a college campus reported it, and over half of those students who didn't report it said they didn't think it was serious enough to report. But why? Why is that not serious enough to report? Rape is a big thing. It's something that completely changes one's mindset their entire life.
Male college-age students are 78% more likely than male non-students to be victims of rape or sexual assault. When I hear this, it makes me think that we probably have quite a few misconceptions about sexual assault on college campuses, thinking that it only affects or impacts girls, when male students also are at a high risk. And therefore I think maybe we all need to think about the world in which we live, and whether it's safe, dangerous, and how we treat others.
College freshmen are the most at risk for sexual assault. The incident of unwanted sexual contact declines with each year enrolled. Okay, so this is very interesting to me. I think it probably happens because it's not talked about very much, so they're more almost naive and probably like going to parties, and they're not really aware about drinking and all that.
How should we, as a society, continue to spread awareness about sexual assault?
I think the key part of spreading awareness for sexual assault is not censoring it as much as we do, because the more we talk about it, the more it's, spread out, and then the more we can accept the fact that we have to make a change in what we are currently doing. Yeah.
On college campuses, reports of rape spiked 41% on days of home football games, and when a team lost unexpectedly, reports of rape went up 57%. That's horrible.
1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted while in college. That's really scary because I'm going to college next year, and it's something I've actually had to worry about. Instead of enjoying like being in college and having fun and focusing on my education, there's always that like little storm cloud that I have to worry about, which is really scary.
Share your thoughts on the "they were asking for it" mentality.
Okay, so the "they were asking for it" mentality is really dumb and I really hate it. It's like the girl could be passed out, she could be drunk, she could be skinny dipping in a pond. No matter what, they were asking for it. Like, it's dumb. Like, without consent, it's not okay.
Non-contact unwanted sexual experiences, including street harassment, are one of the most common forms of sexual violence for both men and women in the United States. That's kind of scary that people have to experience that like every day just on the street, not even in a sketchy place.
How can we make the streets safe and free of street harassment for all?
We need to teach people what street harassment is, what it exactly is, what it means, how people can do it, and we need to teach people that it's not okay and why it isn't okay.
Do you feel safe walking alone in public?
When I was growing up, I definitely did feel safe. I probably did a lot of things I shouldn't have done because I wasn't cautious, and I think having my parents and having people around me tell me to be careful in public has definitely instilled, unfortunately, some fear, but definitely some preparedness that will help me in the future. And I think it's important to tell girls and guys to be careful where they are because you never really know what can happen, unfortunately. So don't say it was their fault. Don't blame anybody for what happens to them, and mainly just try to change a generation of kids to think better in the future because that's all we really can do.
How do you think sexual assault can be prevented?
I think it can be prevented in many ways, but obviously people nowadays are oh, it's because she's wearing whatever, so that's why, she gets sexually assaulted and stuff. And it's just the matter of the fact of parents and adults teaching young children hey, this is okay and stuff like that.
What message do you have for survivors of sexual assault?
I'd just say to not let it own you and just to move forward and know that there are people that care about you and just have a support system to keep you grounded.
We need to be talking about this because we can't create change until we address that this problem exists. And we need to take that first step to take the next 100 steps of fixing the problem. And one person raising their voice and making a difference has the power to change everything.